A maid was arrested at General Naaman's house. The girl was so sad. God, I believe in God, but why should I be caught here if it's someone else? How can I live without leper? What if I get leprosy? Why do I have to be a servant here? I want to go to my hometown. I miss my father. The maid lived crying every day. One day, the maid thought, our owner is a leper, and if our nation's prophet, Elisha, sees him, I will have to tell the general about it soon. How good will this house be if the general goes and gets over leprosy? My worries are gone. I am going to be happy. I am going to be happy. I am going to be happy. Oh, that's why I am here. So far, the maid had been in sorrow, suffering, and pain. However, as God's words came to her mind, she became very fond of herself. The maid will whistle every morning because she wants to change her mind. The maid was always annoyed, cried, and her eyes were swollen. So Naaman's wife could see at a glance that the maid had changed. Naaman's wife says, "Hey, come here. Do you have anything good going on these days?" "Yes, ma'am, I have something very good going on." "What's the matter?" "It's about the general." "Yeah, what's wrong with the general?" "He's got leprosy, isn't it?" "Oh, yeah. What's wrong with that?" "That disease can be cured by the prophet Elisha." "What do you mean by that?" "It's true, ma'am. The prophet Elisha cures diseases. Think about it. I know how hard it would be for me if he didn't get well, and I would say that I wouldn't have." Naaman's wife heard from her maid, and Naaman's wife thought she was right. It's the same as we preach the gospel. Someone says, "He's a sinner." Look at the Bible. It says we are righteous. We are sinners. Don't say anything weird. You would say that, wouldn't you? But if you listen to the story closely, you can believe it. In Naaman's wife's heart, the faith that the maid had was conveyed. Hey, don't make me laugh. How I wish it were like that. I hope it's a dream. I am sure God can do everything. God saved the dead. When you don't know God's will, even though it's the same situation, you are sad, scared, difficult, and desperate. If you didn't know God's will in the same situation, the servant's heart would be in sorrow, despair, and pain. Does she have a graduation? Does she get paid? Does she have a vacation? Can she see her mother? Can she meet a friend? It was so miserable. But after discovering God's heart, there was hope in this lady's heart. What did General Naaman do? I heard that he was talking so confidently. So, even in his heart, he was like, "Oh my, I hope he gets better. I wish I could get better in my dream." But the more I heard it, the more I felt that I would get better. What's surprising is that God's heart came into the heart of the maid, and it was delivered to Naaman's wife. And Naaman's wife talked to General Naaman, and the joy of the maid's heart went to Naaman's wife. The joy of Naaman's wife went to Naaman, and Naaman went to the king. "I am sorry, king, but I have an opportunity to cure my disease." "General, what do you mean? How did that happen? How nice would that be? Hurry up and talk to me." "I have a maid in my house, and she says that if I go to Elisha in Samaria, my disease will be cured." "Oh, it's nice to hear that. I will write to Israel. Please send this letter to Samaria as soon as possible. I will turn it off because the story is too long. Nama went to Israel. General Nama's leprosy is cured. He talks to the horse while hitting it with a whip. Run, run, run. The horse ran, and he was so happy. It was amazing that he had recovered from his leprosy. The wagon wheel was rolling and he jumped. Honey, I am cured. His wife came and cried and laughed. Honey, look at this. Look at this. Really? Where is that joy? He was happy and saw a maid standing in front of the door. He said, "Thank you. You came to my house and removed the darkness. I am so happy. Thank you so much. Now, you are not our servant. You are our daughter." It's not in the Bible. It's what I imagined. I am in trouble if you ask me if that word is in the Bible. It's in my imagination. Our hearts are different from that of God. Say Amen. It's different. We think differently from God's. Everyone, if your heart is connected to God's heart and God's heart comes into you and works, then you have lived with your thoughts until now. But now you live with God's heart. The same disease, the same difficulty, the same poverty, the same enemy seem completely different.